All right, so we're talking about the confidence course. We're also going to review from last week. So, from last week, we talked about why sports confidence is super important, where it comes from, and how do we create it. When we're on the field, there's a lot of emotions going on when good things happen and when bad things happen. But how do we get into a good state where we're looking for that positive outcome to happen? Not for it to be a fake thought, but get into the habit of thinking positive things are going to happen, thinking that we're going to get barrels on the bat, thinking that we're going to strike a guy out. It's all about those thought patterns that you have every single day. We answered questions on how we felt and behaved during good and bad performances. I'm going to go through a few examples with you guys today, and I want you to talk about how you feel in different moments, like when you strike out or when you hit a double in the gap, or if you even hit a home run. We also talked about sports confidence. The number one trait is preparation. If you're prepared, your confidence is going to be a lot higher than if you're not prepared. If you put in, 100, 150 swings each day, you're probably feeling a lot more confident, a lot more prepared. So physical reps versus mental reps. We'll go over mental imagery of what you should be doing. And then all those reps that you do physically, you're putting money in the bank, money aside that you can draw on when you're up at the plate. And those reps that you put in, now you're confident up at the plate, you're standing differently, you're carrying your body language in the box. And then we talked about some different testimonials. One of my testimonials, as far as, going up there, going on the mound when I was pitching in college, I could tell based on how I was feeling that day, if I had like my shoulders were slouched and I was carrying myself differently, or if my shoulders were back and I was standing tall and I felt like I was strong like the Hulk, or those types of thoughts would go through my head, and I could tell if I was going to strike everybody out on the mound or I was going to walk everybody on the mound. Number two source of confidence, and it's almost basically like head to head with preparation. It's self-talk. What are those thoughts going through your head every single time you step up to the plate? Oh, I don't want to strike out here. I don't want to. It's the dialogue right in between the ears. Everything in between the ears is what's going to cause you to succeed or fail. So if you're talking to yourself, maybe don't listen to those thoughts in your head. Maybe let's just keep it even keel and not let thoughts go in that. Whatever thoughts are going through your head, write those thoughts down. Are you feeling, I guess you could say, discouraged? So you're like, oh, you suck, to yourself. If you're saying you suck, you're never going to do this, we need to flip those thought patterns to I got this versus I suck. There's a lot of research in sports psychology that backs up this claim that, this is a huge part of sports confidence. Liam, I'm going to mute you. Feel free to fill in when we get to those slides, though, about what your feelings are going through your head. Our emotions are usually shown in our behavior and body language. Like I was talking about on the last slide. If my shoulders are slouched and my head's down, that tells a coach and your opposing team you're playing against, oh, this guy's not confident in his abilities. Why isn't he standing tall? Usually the most confident guys are standing tall with their head up, they're smiling, all those different types of body language. What do you say to yourself after, you have 3 strikeouts in a game? Why do I even show up at the baseball field? Or like, put those thoughts, like, I want to know what you guys are thinking when you're walking back to the dugout and you're not playing to your best of your capabilities. So yeah, if you struck out, those words I can't that you're putting in your head, you're going to keep repeating that. So let's turn that to I got this the next time. I know he got me this time, but I'm going to get him next time. A lot of kids do it. If we just say dang it and let's say on to the next one, on to the next at bat, that sets us up for the next. Ty says focus on the next at bat. He's right there. Baseball's a failure game, guys. If you guys get 3 hits out of 10 times, like, you're an all-star. Just remember that. We need to change those thoughts to being like, okay, if I didn't do well at the plate here, how am I going to help my team out on the field? I want the ball to come to me so I can make a play and help my team. And also know that, like, all right, I got whoever you have right behind you in the lineup, he's going to pick me up. You can be a little upset about yourself, but just know, like, my teammate's going to pick me up and I'm going to be there for my teammate cheering him on the next one. And this is another thing us coaches have had to get better at too over the years. So look at this. This is an exercise. I'm going to tell you, do not think of a pink elephant. Now, what are you thinking about? You're thinking about a pink elephant. So if I say something like, don't do this with your hands, like talking about mechanical stuff. Us coaches, we try and not talk too many mechanics in games. We let you guys do your work. We do all our mechanic stuff in practices. But if I say do not do this, you immediately think that. Our brains are not wired to not think about things that somebody tells us not to think about. Assuming a lot of you guys, when I said do not think of a pink elephant, especially since it's right here on the screen, you thought of a pink elephant. Our brains don't recognize that don't word. So we need to start thinking of do words. I can do this. On to the next one, like I was talking about. Next question. What do you say to yourself after 3 hits? All right, this is more on the positive note. And I'm the greatest to ever touch this earth. Okay, we're getting a little, hey, I mean, you almost got to step up to the plate with that type of swagger, you know? So that self-talk that you guys have in your head when you round first and you get to second base and you're like, get on my level, how you feel that way, that's what we want to keep going. Obviously, it's easy when you're starting to do those things. But if we have those thoughts and we carry ourselves in the box that way before it even happens, it's more likely going to happen, right? All right, another question. What do you say to yourself when your coach, when you get benched? You know, throwing your helmet, maybe you're throwing your bat, maybe you were, throwing your glove on the field or whatever it was and your coach wasn't liking. What do you say to yourself when you get benched? I'll never do that again. Why do they do that? I didn't do anything. Oh, okay. So now we're pushing blame on the coaches there. Think about what I can do better. That's a positive way to look at it, Ty. We got to do a little bit of self-reflection here, guys, and be like, okay, coach is holding me accountable here, right? You might not agree with it at that point in time, but what did you do that caused that? You might have done something that, was ruining the camaraderie within the team, right? If one player is, doing something wrong on the field and they're throwing the helmet or, their body language is down and they're smacking their glove, that ruins the whole team chemistry. All 9 players on the team, they have to be working together. And if one guy's screwing that up, it ruins the flow of the game, which is why a coach might bench you. If they're upset about something, go take a walk. Let it calm down. Take a deep breath. Come back in. Let your emotions cool off. And then how can I help my team out better now? All right. Next question. What do you say to yourself when your teammates, coach, and family are cheering you on? Like me, when I was your guys' age, I have 4 sisters, a brother, my parents, sometimes my grandparents would come to games. Like, just think of all the people that you are in your family or relatives or whatever, they come to the game and cheer you on. What do you say to yourself then? You have to almost be so even keel, like not too high and not too low. You have to just be right here, like, if I get out, that's fine. On to the next one. But you can't put yourself into, I have to do this like right now. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for failure in the game of baseball. Like I said, 7 out of 10 times you're going to fail. So you have to just get used to, you might not get a hit. You might go 1 for 4. You might go 0 for 3. But if you put yourself in the mindset of, I had a 6-7 pitch at bat and I lined out to shortstop. You won that at bat. Car ride before a game. What is your self-talk? Like you're getting ready. It's a car ride, down to the fields down in Kansas City, 10 minutes from the hotel. What are you saying to yourself before a game? What helps is, like, believe it or not, the music that you're listening to, like if some of that music is pump up music or it quiets the words that you would normally be putting in your head if you are used to having negative self-talk, like, gosh, you suck, or, different things like that. I hope I don't strike out today. I hope they don't put me on the mound today because I've been inaccurate at practice with pitching. Like, sometimes those words come through your head. Oh, my arm's kind of sore today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to throw that well. You know, we got to lock all those words out, and music is a great tool for that. Good stuff. What is Mike Trout's self-talk after 3 strikeouts? Tell me, guys, what's Mike Trout thinking? Obviously, it's not your own self-talk, but Mike Trout's self-talk. What's he telling himself after 3 strikeouts? Also, what is he thinking after 3 home runs? All right. The key things, though, I want you guys to know is he's not getting too high. If he hits 3 home runs, he might be pumped up, but he's like approaching the next at bat like he didn't even hit the home run before. The game goes in ebbs and flows. He's going to be at a high point. He's also going to be at a low point sometime. He's staying even keel. You don't want to get too pumped up. Sometimes too pumped up can raise your anxiety and you get all anxious in certain situations, and then your mechanics aren't as sound. It's better taking a deep breath, calm. That's kind of Mike Trout. He's staying even keel, just so you guys know. Importance of staying steady. Wow. It's like Mason knew exactly where I was going into with this. Being overly positive isn't as effective as staying neutral. Turning a negative emotion into positive takes a lot of work and sometimes feels fake. So if you haven't made contact in 3 swings, oh, this is amazing, I'm the best, versus I'm fine, I can do this. So staying more even keel with your emotions. I'm built for a challenge. Nothing phases me. All right. All right. What are some good adjectives to describe someone who is steady in their mindset? Relaxed and focused. Those are, I would say, relaxed and focused. We're going to make those our key words. Relaxed and focused, relaxed and focused. If you have to say those words in your, and we're going to, the next few slides, we're going to talk about that, is finding a phrase, the importance of a phrase or a cue while you're training and while you're in a game. They're called trigger words. Using trigger words to help trigger a response in our head that helps us perform can be used to improve mechanics or our mindset. Universal. These should work for everyone. Breathe when you need to calm yourself and refocus. Flow. And this can help with mechanics. I need to flow on the mound. I need to flow with my load when I step into my swing. Remember to be fluid with your movements. Connection. Your body moving as one unit. Use the ground for force. So those are some different things that you can say. But relaxed and focused. Those are other keywords that you can use. Personal may not work for everyone. These are Mason's personal ones. 50% swing. Some people don't, sometimes you don't even know what a 50% swing is. Remind yourself to not swing too hard, right? This is what works for him. I'm built. It's an inside joke, but he's also telling himself that I'm ready for anything that comes my way. So it flips his mindset. I'm built for this. Those are very important. Now, I want you guys to come up with your own trigger word that you're going to use when you step inside the box, when you step on the mound. All right. What's your own trigger word that you would like to use? Hey, whatever gets you into that peak state, guys. I was talking about it on previous calls that I've been on. How do you get into that peak state where you're going to operate the best that you can? Quotes of the day. Self-talk is the inner dialogue in our head. The pictures in your head, right? Whatever you're imagining that can happen affects your emotions and behaviors. So if you're thinking that you're going to strike out, that affects the way how you carry yourself, like your shoulders slouching, your head being down. If you're thinking about striking out, if you're thinking about driving the ball in the gap and rounding the bases, you're going to carry yourself differently. If you're thinking about striking somebody out and blowing the ball by them, you're going to carry yourself differently. So the 3 S's. Stress is caused by self-talk, not the situation. So if you have what's going on right up here, any situation that comes your way, whether it's good or bad, is going to normally end up on the good side. We have to keep our confidence going here. Keep shooting. Shooter's going to shoot. Anthony Edwards just went 0 for 22 in his last 3 or 4 games from 3 and finally hit his first 3. What do you think he was telling himself that whole time? And I could tell he was carrying himself differently for a little bit. Even though he was still driving the ball and shooting free throws, he said, keep shooting. Shooter's going to shoot. Be your own best friend. Never too high, never too low. Stay steady, relaxed, and focused. You got to realize sports are sports. You know, a a lot of the analogies that we use can be used in baseball. I'll figure out a baseball one for the next one. Yep. All right, guys, have a good night. Looking forward to practice tomorrow. Bring your A game and bring that positive self-talk.